Welcome to the Off Label Podcast, your twice weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. Look, you asked for it, you got it. We got a special guest for us here. But there's a lot we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently Mr. David Hogg is saying that because the government, because your law enforcement can't protect you, you need to give up your guns. I'm not lying. It's a thing. And then, of course, we also have one thing that has really gone on. We touched about it on Tuesday, how the climate defiance people were trying to blockade the DNC to protest and everything because they're trying to sneak Biden in. Yeah, they've actually been doing that, and nobody's been reporting about it. We got a little bit more to talk about with that. Let's see. We also have. I'm going to do this on YouTube as well before we cut to Rumble. We also have a prediction from a certain account that has connections that wants to give you the rundown, saying that Biden will win 277 to 261. And I just realized that maybe I have to change my prediction on it. We're going to get into that. I'll lay it all out for you. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and start the show.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Dear God, what an idiot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got K-Bean with us. How you doing, K-Bean?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm as good as I can be tonight. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Well, I grew up in Utah and I have a degree in criminal justice with an emphasis in corrections. I did 13 years in the Army and Army National Guard. I worked for the Department of Defense and Defense Intelligence Agency. I worked in North America, Central America, Europe, and the Middle East. I worked for U.S. embassies in foreign countries and for foreign governments, not for foreign governments, but with them. I'm a combat war veteran. I was deployed to Iraq, Kuwait, and Qatar in early 2003 for a year and a half, and did a lot of work there. And in counterintelligence, I left as a chief warrant officer, and my counterintelligence classified documents exploitation program was commended in Congress. And when I left, I went back to Utah. My parents both had cancer, so I worked as a sheriff's deputy and booking people into jail for 7 years. And now I take care of my parents. They survived cancer, and I make jewelry sometimes. And I moderate for Robert Gouveia for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah. You've had one hell of a life. Like, you were
Yes.
telling me a lot more behind the scenes and everything, and I'm just like, did I step myself into something? I don't know now. Like,
You don't know
no,
what now.
no, I was just like, you were going off about your life and everything that you, and I was just like, okay, the government's looking at me now, and I'm sitting here talking to
I'm on all the lists. Now
I'm talking to my FBI agent, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing?
FBI. Boo. FBI. What a bunch of nerds.
All right, fine. CIA, NSA, where you want to place yourself, whatever. You're looking at me. That's what I'm saying. No, but I'm glad you actually did this. I'm glad you kind of came on here. People have been wanting to actually hear you for a while, and I've been trying for a minute, but here we go.
Thank Jennifer.
Well,
Jennifer, she's the pioneer woman. She did it first, and so I thought, well, I'll do it too.
right.
Thanks, Jennifer.
And I can tell when Jennifer broke and she just started to relax. It was actually like a telltale sign in that, like, all right, now we're gonna really have some fun.
It's awesome.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this first little point here. Like, I know you're gonna have some words to say about this, but David Hogg, if the Secret Service can't keep the president safe from a 20-year-old with an AR-15, if 100 cops in Uvalde can't stop an 18-year-old with one, maybe it's time to stop talking about the cops and start talking about the fucking guns. I'm going to let you have your first word with that.
Well, talking about the guns?
I mean, it's like a gun grab situation. It happens with every kind of shooting and everything like this. We always see it. You know, as soon as something happens, no matter what it is, they're coming for your guns. You could have, like, unless it's like a gang shooting, because nobody reports on those kinds of things unless it's local news, but nobody cares about that because it's handguns that are mostly used in that kind of situation. But any kind of real thing like this, it's always like an AR-15, big weapons that look scary, weapons of war. I mean,
Right.
you've used weapons of war. What we have weapons of war?
No, they don't use AR-15s in war. Sorry, guys.
No, that's the M4.
No, and I saw a meme that said if Democrats stopped shooting people, 90% of gun crime would go down. So, no, yeah, guns don't shoot people. People shoot people.
No, I mean, you are correct with that. So
it's not the guns, and I don't want to be disarmed. I'm fully 2A. I've lived in communist countries, and it is awful to see, especially to see in Poland, to see the aftermath of the Russian war machine and the communist, just all of the World War II horror, really. The buildings that they built, the cages that they put people in, the high-rise buildings, it's scary, and I do not want to be disarmed by that. So no,
right.
I'll never get my guns. Cold dead hands.
I'm not going to give them up either, and I'll tell you why. It wasn't just maybe not even a decade ago. Okay, we had a brown bear walking down the main street of the biggest city near me that I live in. I'm sorry. A little 22 is not taking that fucker out. I could land 30 clips into the damn dude. It's not magazines, whatever. It's not gonna be a thing. He's just gonna shrug it off, feel bee stings, and then come after me. It's not a y'all have to understand when you're dealing with wild animals like bears and hogs and things that people that normally live in big cities don't see, your little shit, it ain't taking it out if something happens.
Right.
It bothers me that you're gonna sit there and tell me since the government, since our law enforcement, since everything that's you say should be the only people to have weapons can't protect me from people who have weapons. I need to give up my weapons because they can't protect me from people who have weapons. It
Right.
makes no fucking sense.
To be clear, the Second Amendment is meant to protect from tyranny, from the government. And that's why I won't give up my weapons. It has nothing to do with animals and hunting. It has to do with government.
Well, I mean, mine too, but I mean, my most immediate threat right now is something in my backyard. You know, that would be my most immediate threat, and that's why I need it.
My most
But if
immediate
something
threat
were to
is
happen, I could turn that weapon easily. You
right.
know,
Mine is someone coming in through my front door, whoever it is.
well, I could
Bear,
have that problem
man,
too, but
panda, bear,
I'm
pig.
respected.
I don't give a crap.
Yeah, I could have that problem in my neighborhood too, but I'm respected in mine because they know I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna fuck around. I'm not that evil whitey you see running the streets. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Just don't do your fucking business in public where everybody can see, and we're good. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
that's my thing. You know, whatever you want to do behind your own closed doors is fine, but don't you do it on a fucking street corner. All right.
right.
So yeah, I've let my community know that like I live in a predominantly black neighborhood. Me and my wife are the only ones that live in the neighborhood that are white, right? And the George Floyd situation happened, and a lot of things went down. And I put cameras up, and they started leaving the area, and everybody else started realizing that. So they were paying me to put cameras up along the area. Like we have damn near 360-degree coverage on our street now. If anything were to go down on our street, somebody's got something on camera.
Nice.
Yeah, and nobody fucks around anymore. Everybody's respectful. We used to have like kids on four-wheeler problems just gunning it through the neighborhood, making loud noise. They don't do that. They know they're in camera range. They will slow the fuck down and just pass through quietly. It's amazing now, but I mean, it's sad that you have to go that route.
Right.
But if I didn't go that route, I would need my weapons from the people who wanted to run up in our house to end white people because George Floyd. I
Mm.
mean, so when you're talking about coming after guns, when you're talking about trying to disarm me, because per David Hogg, remember this motherfucker wasn't even anywhere near the area when the shooting went down. Got famous off of standing on the backs of dead children. To put him in the position he is now to say, I lived through this. I want your guns.
Right.
Absolutely fucking not.
No. No.
But I just want to go to, I wanted to point that out because the gun grab stuff, it's never going to stop with this country. It really isn't. Until something so horribly goes so horribly wrong. I mean, it would probably have to be like a citizen having a nuclear weapon, and setting off a nuclear weapon for everybody to be like, maybe we shouldn't be having weapons. That would probably have to be the extent you would have to go in this country. But know this, if it happens, the federal government has something to do with it.
Well, if there were an invasion by a foreign country, like in Ukraine, they need guns now.
Yeah.
Iranians, well, oh, not Iranians, Israelis need guns, Palestinians need guns, everyone that's at war need guns.
Right.
So if we were at war, we would need guns.
Oh, we definitely
That
would.
would
And
that would be when they say, "Oh, I guess we need guns," but um
I mean, this would be kind of a little point of what you wanted to talk about, especially with everybody flooding across the border. We've had record-breaking crossings. We've had literally, like, as the last time I looked up into it, we're almost hitting four-digit numbers on known terrorists that are actually in this country now.
yeah.
Not to mention the ones we apprehended just in one day alone. They got 8 across 3 different cities. You know, they rounded up 8 known terrorists that have actually entered the country illegally that got through and nobody knew they were here. They rounded up 8 in 3 different major cities in one day. If you don't think something's going to happen when shit pops off, I'm sorry. You're not taking my guns because somebody in there's going to be at least a few in my area I know of that are going to try some shit when things go down. It's not going to be a thing to me. You're not taking my weapons because when they run up, I'm going to put them down.
Yeah.
And
There's
if
a
YouTube don't like it, fuck you, YouTube. We all know what's happening. If you're going to silence that shit, you're complicit in treason. Understand that.
there is a
Yeah.
serious terrorist threat
Oh,
with
look, Mima's
all
here.
of the immigration that's happened and with the Afghanistan withdrawal that where they brought all of those Afghanis into our country without background checks. It's really a problem. It is seriously a problem. And
Right.
Americans don't understand the people that have come in. They don't have any idea the people that have come in. They don't understand the mentality in the Middle East and in China that have come here and the threat that they pose. Most people have no idea what we're dealing with.
No.
Really
And
no idea.
Carolyn, I do want to say this. She says America will not become Australia. If you look at every other Western country, they're all walking in lockstep, being the same damn thing. The only thing that's not is us. They're all doing it. They're all walking in lockstep. Their federal government is pushing the same thing our government is. They're just ahead of the curve because their people ain't standing up like we are. They can't say the things that we can. They can't defend themselves like we can. We are the standalone complex in this whole situation. And we will be the last ones to hold out from anything that would ever become something of a one world government kind of situation. We would be the only bastion where everybody would look at us and say, please help. But yeah. But as far as, especially with you being military, everything that you've seen, everything that, of course, there are a lot of things that you can't talk about in that situation, and I get you. But
Can I,
with what
can
you've
I
seen
tell you a
being,
little bit about what I did see? Like
yeah,
describe.
go ahead.
So I would be debriefing some of I can talk about some older stuff. So debriefing some of Saddam's top CIA officers, like Christopher Wray level officers, um, and I would ask them how many people have you killed, and they had like no reason to lie. No, it was over. They were done. They wanted to tell me, they wanted to cooperate. And I would say, so how many people have you killed? And they would look at me like, why would I keep track of that? That's ridiculous. Like who keeps track of that kind of thing? The kind of they would think of it the same way that if I asked you, How many miles have you driven in your life? No one thinks of that. No one keeps track of that. That's the kind of mentality that they have there. And not only that, but every one of them, and they spoke perfect English because they went to college in either the UK or the US. They went to
Right.
the university, so they're highly educated. And every one of them would say towards the end, they'd say, "Oh, I have a niece that lives in Canada." And I go, "Oh, that's kind of close because they can just come right down from Canada right down to Utah where my family was." Or they'd say, "Oh, I have a brother that lives in Canada." And I was like, don't say that." "Oh, I have a nephew that lives in Canada." And I was like, "Ooh, stop, don't say that." "Ooh, my sister lives in Canada." Oh my gosh. So they're right north of us right now. I
Right.
also I also ran a vetting mission because we were hiring some special police that we needed to be able to have not the same rules as our guys that could possibly need to shoot people that we didn't have the authority. And towards the end I had two teams, and we were getting tired, and so I started interviewing this guy, and toward the end I was like, "Come on, wrap it up." And I said, "So, we're trying to do these background checks on people that don't have records, they don't have backgrounds, they don't have any records, just like the Afghanis that came in, just like everyone that came in through the border these last 4 years that nobody knows anything about." So this guy, I'm trying to ask him questions. I'm looking at him to see if he's lying. And finally I say, "Okay, as long as there aren't any bodies buried in your backyard." And he goes, "Well," and I went, "What?" And he goes, "Well, this Iranian came, I live on the border, and this Iranian came and tried to steal something." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, I killed him and I did bury him in my backyard." I was like, "Oh," I was kind of joking. He goes, I was like, "Okay, was there only one?" And he's like, "Well," and I said, "How many did you kill? How many?" And he's like, "Well, there were two." And I said, "Was it only two?" And he's like, "Yes." And I said, "Were there only two?" And he said, "Yeah, there were two." And I said, "Well, I'm going to go check. I'm going to send somebody to go dig them up. So you better tell me the truth." Of course, we're not going to really, but I would needed to know. And he's like, "Yes, I only killed two and buried him in my backyard." And I said, "Okay." And I was like, "Fully qualified, fully approved, get going, buddy. You're 100% what we want." But this is the people that are coming into our country, you guys. This is who we have here now that you need to have protection against, and you need to know that that's what we are dealing with right now. Anyone coming in, and they don't see that as wrong. That's not wrong or bad to them.
Right.
They don't value life the same way.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I will. I'm going to go ahead and give props to that guy because at least he told the truth.
Well, eventually.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, murder's not something you're just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm trying to come into your country, but I just killed two motherfuckers not too long ago." That's not something you're just gonna come off with right offhand, you
Well,
know?
we were at war with them at one time, and I was like, "I know, but you should have, you need to tell me anything else." "No, there's nothing else." "Sure."
Right, right. But yeah, I'm sorry. You're not gonna come from other guns. You're not gonna take anything from me just because something happened with some crazy dude that everybody's wondering how the hell it happened in the first place. Kind of like Las Vegas.
Who's here now? Nobody knows who's here now, and no, and going to be impossible to get everyone out.
Right.
Trump might try, but it's the
It ain't gonna happen.
damage. It's going to take. I don't know if they'll ever repair it.
Look, we have 12 million known people here. Last time I looked, known people, 12
No,
million have come
exactly.
across our borders. You know full fucking well we're probably looking at 20. And if you want to go all non-citizens that are here illegally, the people that are beyond their visas, their DACAs, we're talking about 50, 60 million. There ain't no way you can, deport all of them. Now, I'm not saying like DACA people or people who have overstayed their visas. Fine, you want to stay here, go through the process again, get it right. You do it again, get the fuck out. You know? Fine, let's do that. I'll give you that. You haven't done anything? Cool.
Yeah,
But
they could
if you,
hide for 5 or 10 years before they decide to do something crazy. You don't know.
well, I mean, I understand, but for like DACA recipients and people who have overstayed their visas, things like that, look, you were here once before. You've been here. You understand the way our life is. Even if you don't agree in certain situations, you haven't shown any real aggression towards anybody or anything like that. You have acclimated at least to our way of life for a good little while. I would say go through the process again. Let's get you up. Let's get you, up and running and extend everything we need to, but the deadline comes again. And if you overstay and we catch you, sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
play by the rules and we're good.
yeah. I love
But yeah,
legal immigrants.
I,
I do
I
love.
got no problem with them. Look, my wife's best friend is a legal immigrant. She comes from the Philippines. She knows more about the federal government than I swear most of the people that I've ever grown up with.
They're the
And it's
best.
because we helped her, but yeah, she had to study for it. It's not because we helped her. She had to study for it to get into the country. To legally enter the country, she had to study. And I guarantee you, if I just asked her what are the three branches of government, say them off the top of her head without even having to stop to look. What did they do? Say them off the top of her head. You know, she knows more about the way our system's supposed to work than most Americans. And it's
Yeah.
fucking frightening. The fact that you can do that, I will give you entry. You understand the way things go, you know? So,
Well,
all
they
right.
appreciate America too. They
Right.
appreciate the country and the freedom here.
Right. And it's that kind of situation to where you want to be here. You want to acclimate into this lifestyle, whatever fucking lifestyle you wind yourself up in, as long as you're not calling for like Sharia law or some shit. I don't care. You know, you live as an American. You want to be an American. You want to go through the system legally. Cool. Do your thing. I'm not gonna stop you. But if your first act is to come here illegally and cross the border illegally and try to sneak into the country and think you're going to get everything handed to you, I have a problem because that's my money. You know, that's the way I kind of look at the situation altogether with my, the border and everything like that. And it's
Yeah.
literally disgusting that they're letting it happen. They're forcing it to happen. But I don't have the document here. I've shown it time and time again. That document from 2000 from the United Nations that's talking about replacement migration to give countries an economic boost. That's what I think it's about. But yeah,
Ugh. I
I
think
don't know.
it's
Have you seen that?
no. I think it's the Cloward Piven strategy. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's Obama had it's a I think it's Harvard. Someone from Harvard came up with this thing. They wrote a book about it, and Obama had the book in his hand. There's a picture of him holding it, and
Right.
it's a way to topple America by flooding America with immigrants and um, basically flooding our I don't know our system with so much so many immigrants that it destroys our, I guess, I don't know, all of our, I don't know, our welfare systems.
Yeah, that bothers me
It
too. My money
undermines,
is
completely undermines.
yeah. Well, I mean, Americans do it too, though.
I
Don't get
can't,
me wrong.
I
My
guess
sister's my
you kind of
sister's
have to
on
Google it and read it.
right.
It's
My
really,
sister is
really,
on Social Security, and it bothers me because she says she's on Social Security because
it's
she's
not
too
that, it's
bipolar.
not that.
She just can't stop being angry like me.
It's when you bring in when you bring in millions and millions and millions of immigrants, you're going to
Right.
destroy us with the burden of taking care of them.
Right. But let's go ahead and hit up this one too. It kind of rolls off into the whole David Hogg situation because we know he's a paid actor kind of situation, but there are those foreign actors, and we all know who they are. One of the biggest ones I'm about to point out here. I want you all to understand that as stupid as David Hogg's statement was about they can't protect you, so give up your guns. I want you all to understand what the left, these crazy motherfuckers, actually believe is the people you back. It's disturbing how stupid they really are. We got this one here from Davy's favorite person, Angela Bellicamino. She's the woman, the bold lib woman that we showed those videos on. She says, "This might be my favorite community note yet. What's yours?" And it's Elon Miles Chong. I am 1,000,000% behind Trump now. We are at war. This was the first shot. And then there's a community note. Ian Miles Chong is a Malaysian who doesn't have a U.S. citizenship, doesn't live in the USA, and can't vote in the U.S. presidential election. They're acting like this is an own. I mean, if you've spent any time on Twitter, you know who the fuck this dude is, and you know he's not a U.S. citizen, but he plays like that to get money. Like they literally think y'all are this stupid. Like this is somebody you look up to, you get your information from. What he does is just take everything from everybody else and then post it like it's his. And he got famous doing that. He got big doing that. Everybody calls him out. You look at his fucking comment section, it's just full of, dude, you ain't even American. You steal shit from people. Like everybody calls him out for it.
Right.
And it's just disturbing to me that, with the Twitter thing, everybody's like, Twitter's not real life. Twitter's not real life. Well, this is where most people get their information from. And if you're taking it from people like Ian Miles Strong, it's more than likely going to be somewhat valid. Yes, but it comes from somewhere else. And
Right.
instead of looking at him and posting his shit and getting him out there, hunt for where that came from. But it bothers me because, especially on Twitter, there's a lot of people who act like they're American that aren't. And they try to convince you of something. They'll try to convince you that this person needs to be this, or this person is the evil, this person is the devil. You want to talk about foreign interference? The foreign interference is the own Western countries. Like you got UK journalists that are on Twitter saying Trump is Hitler.
Yes.
You got Iranian journalists doing the same. You got all kinds of things doing the same. You want to talk about foreign interference, ladies and gentlemen? There's your foreign interference.
It is.
How it happened. I'm not talking about like Elon Musk paying them for revenue share or anything like that. No, our fucking federal government pays that. We know that. That Gen Z for change shit, all those little kids, we know that.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I
I
copied
just want y'all to be aware.
I copied a TikTok that showed it showed this Chinese bot center where they had one person at a station that had just like 100 phones that they were using to type messages on each phone to send onto TikTok to be 100 different people at once.
Mhm.
and it had probably 60 people in the office. So,
Yeah.
so it was crazy. And they just had each cubicle had like 50 phones per person that they were just typing messages on, acting like they were a person each. It was insane. What is this? Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, it just bothers me that people are involved in this situation that shouldn't be. You guys kind of have to know that, especially with Twitter. There's so much information about these people out there. All you have to do is just take half a second to look, and you'll
right.
understand.
Yeah, and I'll call him out on Rob's show once in a while. I'll call him New Now, 50 Cent Army. It's usually I call out what I think, or if I mean what. Sometimes I can tell which country they're from by the way that they are typing their language, and I'll call
Right.
them out. But I mean, you do have to be careful because they'll try to trigger people. They will try. They'll try to trigger us, and you can't. That's why this is
Look,
important. We need real people talking to each other,
yeah.
and real meetups like Rob's meetup. We need real people interacting.
Well, if it wouldn't have just come up so quickly like that, I probably might have made it.
Oh
But
no, that's good.
yeah, it
But
was
I
just
mean,
like
you're
what
doing
two,
this.
yeah,
But
two,
you're
3 months in
doing
advance.
this is good. Like this is really good, and we need more people willing to talk and be heard and really be verified or be members of channels. Sign up and
Yeah.
be members to
Oh,
show that
definitely.
real. You know.
But yeah, it's kind of like okay, especially with what I'm planning. Okay, I'm going back home tomorrow. I'll be back home in my own damn house. Like I said, I promise you a better episode when you're willing to come back on again.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Um,
I don't. This is
well,
great.
it's kind of stuttering a little bit, and that's because I'm actually using a hotspot on my phone
That's all
that's had
right.
problems all day. So, but yeah, like what I'm planning to do is Saturday. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna host it on my own Voice of the People. It's gonna be on Rumble only, and I'm just gonna pop in a Discord. Anybody wants to come in, I'll be sharing things like that. I'll be talking about it. You want to come in, talk for a little bit? I'll pause the
Sure.
video. We'll have a conversation. You jump out whenever you want to, kind of thing like that. It's gonna be like a revolving doors situation. All day Saturday, as far as that goes. But yeah, I definitely got to get that. Let me get the link there for the Discord as well for y'all to come in if you want to be involved with that as well. But it'll be like that kind of situation because, like you said, we definitely need to be talking more with each other,
Yes.
and doesn't matter if you agree or not.
Oh, yeah.
If you're coming at it honestly, it's not a problem. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
even if we disagree with something or like that, if you're coming at it honestly, if I feel like you're trying to troll, I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna drop you. But yeah, let's have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. You tell the world how you feel. Listen, you'll be using a conversation with me, but tell the world how you feel. Just get it all out there, let it all go, and just fuck it. This is how I feel. This is who I am. This is what I want,
Yeah.
and we'll see. But yeah, we got one more thing. But before we hit my little prediction, we're going to hit this real quick because I mean, there's not really enough to talk about in this kind of situation right now. But I just want you all to understand. Like we did go through climate defiance where they're saying they were going to blockade the DNC so they couldn't, go in there and remotely vote for Biden, out of the blue. Um, they do say we marched on Biden HQ today. They deployed masses of cops. I thought y'all wanted to defund the cops, though. We were undeterred. Senior campaign staff literally begged us to stand down. We refused. By staying in the race, Biden is forking the presidency to Trump. This is hideous. This is grotesque. This cannot go on. And that's all they posted. But they do have some pictures here just to let you all know. Yeah, this actually did happen. This is a thing. Ain't nobody reporting on this. There's no articles. There's no even local news headlines about any of this. No little snippets on local news media, for video or anything. Nobody is touching on this situation that these people were there. Now, they're doing the same thing you would do for the exact opposite reason, but they're starting to get it. They're starting to understand. And the fact that they were sitting here saying, like, this is nothing about what democracy is, the Democratic Party, you guys are just like literally fuck the people. We don't exist to you anymore. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party. But yeah, I just wanted y'all to understand that they're doing something out there, and it's going to catch some fire as long as they keep up.
I wonder who printed those signs.
I don't know. I mean, they're cloth made. It's not like something that was like every time we see some kind of protest pop up. Like this was an organized event.
Yeah,
like,
those are some nice signs.
Yeah, this took a minute. This was and it wasn't like something outrageous or anything. It's just like, stop.
That's not. Yeah,
This is the stop the steal for them.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
So,
and if you guys got that, I definitely gonna drop this for you guys in here. If you see anything, please, anything else with this, please let me know. But every single one of you, if you're on Twitter, wherever, Facebook, doesn't matter. Just share that information. Get that stuff out there. Make it to where they cannot look away from the situation anymore.
No, we want Biden to run.
Yes, but I also want people to understand that they may be climate cultists, but there's still a huge faction of people out there that even Democrats are saying no. And I'm not saying that they're the huge faction.
They're being censored.
I mean, they are. They truly are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, for me, you want to talk about censorship and everything like that? For me, look, the whole thought is,
I wonder what it's like to be censored.
Right. You were the ones saying it's a private company, they can do what they want. You were praising people for being censored and canceled for being Republican and pronouns and everything. Don't sit there and tell me how much it's bullshit that people are going after a Home Depot woman who said, "Hey, they almost killed Trump. I'm mad that they missed, but hey, at least a Trump supporter's dead."
Hey, do you think they're gonna kill Biden with COVID?
No. And I think that would be too much of an obvious play.
Is it gonna kill him? Is it gonna kill him?
It would be too much of an obvious play. I don't think so. They're just calling no, it would, because okay, look, you're sitting there telling you're sitting there telling me that you were talking about the 25th Amendment to remove this dude before he even made office.
Yeah.
Okay. You let him go on this long. You try to say, yeah, he's sharp as a tack. And then everybody says, that's not what the fuck I saw. And then his shit tanks. Everybody's like, oh, well, he just had a bad night. And, time after time after time again, he flubs. People start seeing it. And then the assassination attempt. Like, normal people are going to look at that whole situation and just be like, something's off.
Right. Okay, what about this? What about they did the presidential immunity and then Trump gets an assassination attempt?
Exactly. It's a telltale sign. So if he winds up with COVID, everybody's telling him, drop out, Joe, you can't win. And he's like, no, I'm staying in. And And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the Democratic National Convention, he gets COVID to where he doesn't have to take anything. Nobody gets to talk to him. Nobody knows anything about anything because he's
No,
supposed to
no,
be quarantined. Come on.
no. What I'm saying is now that there's presidential immunity, if Biden was behind the assassination attempt,
Nope. It wouldn't work.
yeah,
It would not work because murder is still illegal.
it is.
You
illegal.
cannot claim presidential immunity. It is not a presidential act to
That's right.
assassinate a political opponent.
You can't assassinate. Presidents aren't allowed to assassinate presidential candidates.
Oh, hell no. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And the whole, everybody missed it.
Drone strike. You can drone strike, apparently, U.S. citizens in other countries, but
not on homeland. No, but apparently, you know, when everybody missed that shit. When the whole question was SEAL Team 6 can assassinate a political opponent, she wasn't talking about Trump and Biden. She wasn't talking about any of that shit. You're talking about SEAL Team 6, who went over there to take out fucking, what was it, Bin Laden? Yeah, they took out Bin Laden. Yeah. You gonna sit there and tell me you're gonna use the people that took out Bin Laden against Trump? No, that's not what she was saying.
Yeah,
she was saying things like
there are rules.
Yes, but she was saying things like, on a presidential level, you are the highest part of the office. Could SEAL Team 6 be called in to take out Osama bin Laden? Yes. That's what she was getting at. Not like Trump turning SEAL Team 6 on Biden or Biden doing the same. She was getting at, it's a political opponent for you, for other countries. You are the highest level of office. You are the president. Anybody that opposes the U.S. is going to be your political opponent. That's where she was going with the whole situation, and everybody missed it and tried to turn it into this.
Right.
What was it? Promoting? Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm holding a mic and still typing with one hand. I can't wait to get home, guys. But yeah. I just want y'all to know that those people are still out there and they're still doing that kind of information warfare for you. Don't fall for it. You know who's American and who's not.
Foreigners.
Right.
They're tricky.
Let's see. Where was that one? We also have one more thing. I do want to touch on this, and I don't give a damn if YouTube gets pissy or not. Y'all are going to have to see this. This is very interesting, and I'm going to have to change up my prediction on this. I'll tell you why. It kind of came across me, and it became really, really, it opened my eyes a lot.
I think so.
All right. We have, where is it in my tabs? We have this from Biden wins. Now, this is a connected account. It says breaking 538 polling, which is what everybody's shooting on about right now. About how every poll is saying Biden's winning. No, they're only looking at this one. 538 polling shows President Biden winning the Electoral College and presidency by 277 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 261 electoral votes. Let's go.
Who did this poll? Kamala? Who did this poll?
538 is the most left-leaning poll. But there is a
PI math?
No.
It's gotta be.
No, they're trying to prime you. That's what they're doing. They're trying to prime you, and I'm going to show you why. Let me see.
To prime me. Okay.
They're trying to prime you.
Prime
and
me.
I promise you. Hold up.
Prime me for the cheat?
This on the screen right here.
For
Executive order.
24?
Yep. I'm going to lay out for you how 2020 happened, how 2022 happened, and what to look out for in 2024. First of all, 2020 was actually, it wasn't legal, but it wasn't illegal. because there was nothing saying the government couldn't register you to vote except for the Constitution. But fuck the Constitution. Nobody really cares about that anymore, apparently. The only thing that actually made this illegal is the actual Constitution.
That's hilarious.
It gets fucky. Listen, because this is 100% illegal. When you're talking about an illegitimate president, you were talking about Biden himself. Check this out. This is an executive order on promoting access to voting. It literally says that every federal agency, save for about 5 or 6 of them, can register people to vote.
What?
It doesn't matter what state they come across you, they can register you to vote.
No.
Federal agencies can register citizens to vote no matter where they are.
Where did you get this? No.
You want the link?
Is this official? Is it White House? Is this a news article or is it real?
I will put it in the chat.
No.
I'll put it in your private chat here.
.gov behind it. That's my.
I'll put it in the private chat for you.
Does it have .gov behind it?
Yes. Whitehouse.gov.
That's awesome.
This is real. This was one of those 50 that he signed on the very first fucking day.
Wow. I would too if I did election fraud.
Now, here's why I'm telling you that this is how it happened.
This
okay.
Guy, man.
So this right here is the Social Security Administration's website. Okay. This is the Help America Vote verification website. What this is the Help America Vote Act was saying, okay, look, you don't have an ID. Let's use the last 4 digits of your Social Security number and your last name. We'll put you in the system. We'll get you registered that way. Okay. This is where it gets really, really fucky. Let's just choose. Let's go back a little bit before the 2020.
Okay. Because everyone has a different last 4, right?
Right. Here you go. Check this out. September 8th, 2018. Now, these are states that report either once a week or once every 2 weeks. Okay. Check this out. Alabama, in 1 week, 671 people tried to register to vote with the last 4 digits of the Social Security number and their last name. Out of those 671, 106 did not match at all. Out of the whole 565 matches, single match alive means there's one match to the last 4 digits of the Social Security number, last name, and they are alive, 529. Single match deceased, 36. So you're telling me 36 people registered to vote and then died?
Wow.
You got California, 6,296. Total non-matches, 2,751. Total matches, 3,548 or 545. The single match alive, 3,539. Single match deceased, 6. I could say 6 people in California tried to register to vote and then died. I could get it. I could see that number. I can't see 36. Now, this is still back in 2018. Notice there really is no huge number on the list, guys. And if anybody's, for the people who have been watching this channel, you already seen this, you know this information. We've gone after spike after spike after spike. Notice there's not really one that's going to catch your attention. This is in 2018. Now, let's go to right after. Oh, that's too far. Let's go to right after the executive order was signed in, which was March 7th, is when it went active. So let's choose week ending March 13th of 2021. Alabama, 960.
Oh, what?
111 did not match. 182 were dead. Kansas, 41,000 right after an election. You're telling me 41,528 people registered to vote in 1 week right after an election. Out of that, 11,363 people did not know the last four digits of their social security number or their last name. And out of the 26,813 that were single matches the 30,165 that were actually valid, 3,352 of them were dead in 1 week.
COVID.
Not in Kansas. that had taken out an entire town in Kansas.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Texas, 13,636. Now, here's where everybody really started to catch involved with this. And this is what made me form my thought process with this. Let's go back to, let's say, February 10th, 2024. Let's see if Texas. Nope. Oh, yep. Texas, in 1 week, 218,922 people tried. Texas reports every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, 218,922 people tried to register to vote with their last four digits of their social security number and their last name. Out of that, 39,231 did not match. Out of the 179,691 that did match, 4,450 of them were dead. Now, Pennsylvania looks the same way. High spike in Pennsylvania. We're starting to kick up there. Let's look at the latest data we have right now, July 13th, 2024. Alabama, 4,240 people. Right now, I could understand. But how is a quarter of them not matching? Out of the ones that do, how is it almost, a little more than 10% are dead? That's an algorithm. It's just throwing names and last four digits at them just to see what fucking sticks.
Yep.
You call this clearing voter rolls because this is the first time new registering voters. These are people who have never even cared about voting. This is what happened. Not to mention, I'm not going to bring it up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a big, long thing. There's a video from Facts Matter. Yes, I know Facts Matter is Epic Times, and they're Israeli. I don't give a shit about that. The information video was sourced from a damn court case where a dude was sent to prison for election fraud. Now, mind you, it was in 2022 where he admitted that he paid people to pick up ballots, empty ballots that people had signed. They would bring the ballots to him. Him and his crew would fill them out, and he would pay people to drop those filled out ballots that him and his crew did. He would pay people to drop them in those mail-in ballot boxes. 2,000 mules.
Yeah.
And the court case, that case right there, said the sentencing only applies to 2022. In that case, he actually admitted he did this in 2020 as well. Let's not forget the one that Rob brought up, where he read the whole police document about those 150,000 illegal voter registrations and the cache of guns there in Muskegon, Wisconsin. All the shit coming out with Georgia now. I mean, they admitted there's election fraud that should overturn everything in the state of Georgia. This is what happened. This is how they did it. This is what happened. Those mail-in ballots is people never even registered to vote. The government registered them. They sent out the ballots, had somebody say, hey, sign that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the...
Yeah, if someone didn't just sign it.
Right. But here's the fucked up thing, though. This is the big thing that really kicks me. If they register you to vote, you don't know it.
Yeah.
They can hand off that information to the welcome packet for illegal immigrants who sign your name in their signature. Now that becomes the official signature, does it not? Because that's the first known contact of any signature for that name. That becomes the official signature because it's what's written on the registration. Now, you go to vote. I've never voted. I need to go register, right? Okay, so Find out how to go register. You go over there to register. Found out you've already registered. Okay, cool. How does that happen? But whatever. Then you go to vote. Let's say you get in before the mail-in ballot is counted. You go vote. Everything's cool. Mail-in ballot comes in. They look at the signature for your ballot that actually has your signature for your real name. And then they look at the other ballot, the mail-in ballot, with the signature that is written on the actual registration. They reject yours because it's
Yeah.
not the signature.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing. And for everybody out there, now that I've kind of laid it out for you as far as how that goes, I want you to understand. Let me reset this map. This comes from 270towin.com. Like, this is the how do I reset map? Okay. This is showing you as everything stands right now, not up to the very minute kind of thing, but everything stands right now. This is the way our countries, our states are looking to vote as far as electoral college. All right. The only ones that have not had any kind of leaning, it's undecided toss up kind of situation: Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Now, let's go ahead and go nuclear with the situation. Every single one of these toss-ups, let's turn a little red. Nothing else changes, right? You got Democrats 226, Republicans 312. Now, all you need is 270. So, what would give Democrats and over a lead over Republicans? Now, I did say Texas because Texas was heavily focused on that Help America Vote verification shit. Kansas was too. Missouri was too. So I laid them out. Now, here's the thing. You turn them blue, 282 to 256. Even if you didn't take Missouri, you still squeak by, but that's not enough for anybody to really believe, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a play anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because of all the fuckery that we found in Arizona, especially with the Kerry Lake trial. You don't think they're going to do that again? Y'all don't understand that she uncovered the most blatant, outright voter fraud that has ever come out yet. Signature verification, 2/3 of them were done in 3 to 5 seconds. That's literally flashing up on your screen. You push a button, flash up on your screen, push a button. That signature verification wasn't done correctly. It's going to be done again. You turn Arizona blue, Democrats 277, Republicans 261. Now, going back to this, Biden wins 277 to Trump's 261. That's the only way it makes sense. Without having to flip a whole bunch of different states in different ways, that's the only way it makes sense. And because of the border, everybody's going to be like, well, Texas is only blue because of the illegal immigrants. Prove it. Prove illegal immigrants voted. Because they're using your signature or your name in their signature. Prove illegal immigrants voted. That's how it's going to happen. And I don't care if YouTube wants to get pissy about that, ladies and gentlemen. That is my prediction. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I was wrong. But I feel that's the way it's going to play out with everything that I've seen, with everything that I've witnessed, and Arizona being that fuckery state because of the illegal immigrants that are living in major cities. Like Houston is actually having, we covered it last time, with me and Haley. Like Haley's like, okay, so it has to be the illegal immigrants that are attacking the linemen because they're the only ones that would actually, benefit from there being a major power outage and nobody having electricity for anything. This is what's going on. And they're going to take illegal immigrants, have them sign that paperwork, or anybody, really, as long as that ballot is signed and not filled out. They're going to take it to somebody else to fill it out for them, just like they did in 2020, just like they did in 2022. That's how it happened. Now, can you prove voter fraud when you actually have an American fucking person's name on a ballot? That was the problem. And that's how it happened. What do you think about that before we cut to Rumble real quick?
It's possible. It is possible. They're definitely going to try. I just think that if Biden wins, most of the country won't accept it this time. Half the country did last time. Most of the country won't this time. And I just don't know how, I just don't know how they think. I understand that they will cheat and they'll try, but I don't know. I don't know if they really believe they'll get away with it. I mean, they did once. I just don't see how. I don't know. I don't see how they'll, even if they do get away with it, I don't think that people will accept it this time. I just don't. I don't.
There ain't no way.
I don't know.
There ain't no way people are going to accept it, especially if you try to
accept it.
If you try to say Texas turns blue, no, there ain't no way in hell you can pull that off. But there's no other way that I can get the 277. There's no other way that I can do that with it as it stands right now without having to flip different states. Some go blue, some go red. There's no other way I can do it to make it that obvious. You know,
it's not. They might cheat and win by cheating. People won't accept it, and then there's going to be some serious. Well, there's going to be civil unrest no matter what, and people need to be prepared. You people really need to prepare. You need to prepare for power outages at the minimum and cyber warfare, and you need to have some water and some food in reserve, and some self-protection for real. And that's all I have to say. I mean, that's the best thing everyone can do starting right now is every time you go to the store, buy a little extra water, bottled water, and buy a little extra canned food, because it's going to be ugly no matter what happens. So vote, get other people to vote, and be prepared. Don't be stupid. Be prepared, because it's gonna be crazy. No matter what, it'll be crazy, and you should be prepared for power going out and the internet shutting down for a little while.
Right.
And some crazy gun stuff for real.
Especially
riots.
Especially around election time or while the reporting's going on or anything. Yeah, like internet's going to be dead.
Prepared, you guys. You need to be prepared for some civil unrest, especially if you live in really populated areas. Really.
Let's not go that route again, all right? I had to dig in reserves back then. I don't want that. Yeah. Calm the fuck down, but just slowly build. Okay. You got some time. You got what, 4 months, 5 months?
Yes, but start now so you're not freaking out when things start to get really hairy.
You got time. Don't make a run on toilet paper right now.
It won't be hard if you start now. I want people to start now.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
Start now. Start preparing now. Get a little bit each time you go, just an extra little bit, and you'll be okay. You won't be panicking when things get really crazy. That's the one thing I wanted to say on this right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go ahead and one last time in the YouTube and Discord chats there. This is the Discord here for
when shit hits the fan.
Probably will. But this is the Discord here. Saturday, we're going to sit down. I'm going to be in Discord pretty much watching like hearings and things and going through the news. Just keep going on. When you see me in the Discord, I'll be in the one of the little voice chat things. When you see me in the Discord, get you set up, get you ready to go. When you see me in the Discord, you can pop in there. We can talk about something, whatever you want to bring up. We can sit there and talk about it. We just need to start talking. We need America's voice to be heard. And America's voice is you. Let's talk. Let's have some. It doesn't matter as long as you're coming with something with real honesty and openness and you're not trying to be a dick about something. We'll have a good conversation. But other than that, before we go to Rumble, everybody wanted to know, what kind of birds do you have, KB?
I have some parakeets and a lovebird. Not very nice.
I did give the Discord link there, but I'll do it again. They're just lovebirds.
What?
Did you say they're lovebirds?
One of them. It's not nice. Don't do it.
What's the other one?
A couple of parakeets. They're okay. My brother, his wife had a baby, and I went to see the baby, and he said, "Do you want some birds?" And I said, "No." He said, "Are you sure you don't want some birds?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Are you sure you don't want some birds?" And I said, "Do you want me to have some birds?" And he said, "Yes." And he ran out to my car with the birds and threw them in my car and ran back in his house. And he said, "No takebacks," and slammed the door. And I went, "Oh, I guess I have birds now." So they just live in my house.
Hey, I like birds. They can be chatty as hell and annoying sometimes, but they're great.
That was 5 years ago. They still live here. It's good. I'm
All
never lonely.
Well, that's a good thing too. But I mean, you got friends everywhere. You're never going to be lonely.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool beans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to cut the Rumble only here. You got 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.